Alright, I am in the mood for some Sultai Flash this morning. It's a nice sunny morning, a bit chilly as the world around burns. I played this list a few days ago and did surprisingly well with it. I think that the Sultai video was the one where I popped from Platinum down to Gold 4. The season ended, but I made a few changes, nothing huge. Um, in the previous video, I realized that I was at 23 lands. If I'm wanting to jam ambushers and mystics, I want to play 24. I only had 14 green sources, so I added an extra Woodland Cemetery, simply because I don't want to get stuck not being able to cast these two spells, and also I just don't want to get stuck on lands. I cut an opt for that, just simply because one of the reasons for opt is to keep you from getting stuck on lands and from getting flooded. But dealing with the land problem means opt is a little bit less necessary. I also switched out two mystical disputes, or two lookouts dispersal for two mystical disputes. I'm still on the fence about lookouts dispersal. It can be a good mana leak. It can be a 2 mana counter something unless they pay 4, which is great. A lot of times though, I didn't have a pirate in play and it was a bad cancel. So I want to play that, and mystical dispute again can be a 1 mana counter spell. The matches where I want to play Mystical Dispute and these more expensive counter spells tend to be Nexus and Control matchups. So against aggro, I'll probably side them out. I've got a lot of stuff to bring in from the board for removal: Ambusher, Grasp, Legion's End, and an Aether Gust. And against aggro. Against Nexus, I've got Remorse to exile the Nexus, Stroke, Grasp to deal with Ceratops, and Mystical Dispute. So, Sultai Flash was a lot of fun in the first one, so let's see how it does in this round of games. All right, we're going to be on the draw against Vipiyashi. And I think this hand is a keep. I am missing double green. That Woodland Cemetery that I put in. But I've got a little bit of removal. So this looks like to be a control matchup, which Borrower will be good against. Assassin's Trophy will not be so good against. And I draw another blue-black land. And I'm not going to reveal that I'm playing Sultai for now. We'll see. They're only playing blue-black control. This is kind of interesting. Well, now that I've got my green land, now I can flash in Preserver. And if they counter it, that's okay. One good thing about this matchup is unless they're playing Secret Esper, no. I shouldn't have to be dealing with Teferi. This is the interaction that doesn't work so great. And just like I feared, I am struggling to find that second green source. So I'm going to hold my Borrower until I can't use my Assassin's Trophy on my own thing. I am just going to flash this in here. Counterspells would be nice to draw at this point, but this is kind of signaling what's coming, but I don't really care. I've got double wolf, so sure. They do have a counterspell. Okay, that's relevant to note. So then a Mystical Dispute would have been great in this instance. And now I'm just flooding. And drawing the lands now is a bit rough. That's a fair trade. I think what I'm going to do is put out my Borrower. See if we can eat another removal spell, because Ambusher can take over the game. Yeah, they just have all the answers right now. How much? 3? Sure. This is a cool deck that my opponent is playing, and I am flooding like nobody's business. "14 cards. If they have a counterspell here, I'm just going to concede. Yeah, alright. They're just going to concede. When they have it all, there's nothing you can do. Okay. Mystical Dispute's obviously coming in. I think I'm probably just going to bring in... Poisoner's probably not great. Cast down, Disfigure. I'll bring in 2 more Ambushers just for threat density. And Stroke is actually probably good against Syncopate. I'll bring in another Cutthroat for anything else that's bad. Assassin's Trophy's probably terrible. I'll keep in 2. It's kind of my only way of dealing with permanents. I think I gotta keep this. This may be loose, but... Well, looks like I'm gonna miss on lands. Last game we flooded, and let's give them a nice, which I always do when I miss on lands. If they want to burn their counterspells on Brineborn Cutthroat, that's fine. Yep. My life total is essentially irrelevant. So, now I can get a Cutthroat through using my Mystical Dispute, which is kind of a big deal. They have Murderous Rider instead. Very nice. Again, when you have it all, life is good. Alright, well, managed to draw into my 4th land, although I did miss a land drop, so... Okay, so they're not going to do that, so I'm just going to send out my Borrower here. And hope they don't have something. They did not. Alright, so now they have to deal with the Borrower. Missed on land drops again, but one of the reasons I am thankful I went to... I don't think I want them to be able to take my Ambusher. Actually gonna play Dispersal here. That might be wrong. Now they can syncopate that? No, okay. That's a great draw. Still struggling on the land department, but I'm actually going to flash this in. Do I do that and then hold up Spell Pierce? Yeah, I'll just go get my forest. If I had 3 green lands, I would flash that in and then get an island and hold up Spell Pierce, but man, when you have it all, you have it all. I can fight over this. Unless they have Mystical Dispute, which they've been drawing is very likely. Nope. Finally. Jeez. I kind of think if I do this, then that gets rid of a threat. Yeah. So they have to deal with the Borrower. I think that's fine. I mean, I have no choice to except to deal with it. This will end the turn very quickly. Again, probably should have not countered that, cast that into a counter spell, but okay. Well, that gives them 2 mana to do something, which again they will most definitely have. Yep. Ah! When you have it all, you have it all. Life is good. Life is good. And that just came a little bit too late. And I think this game is lost. But they drew really well. They drew really well. What can you say? Alright, good game. Alright, let's try to have it every time next game. Alright, I'm going to be playing against another Platinum player, Orion Dante. And I think this is a keep. I've been having trouble hitting my green lands, so I would rather just drop that in, and I will opt at end of turn looking for more lands. Cool, so green-black, probably Field of the Dead, which is a pretty horrific matchup. Cutthroat might be able to help us with that. Well, that's kind of good. So, they might have Disfigure. Wow, they do. What? Ugh, my opponents are professionals at this game. Well. Think they have another one? I know these Sultai lists tend to only play 2 Disfigures in the bottom, 2 or 3. They have another one. No. Okay. They're just holding priority. Do not want you to draw a card, I'm sorry. And now we flood. We floodeth. Put the land into play. Sure. Man. Alright. I guess I've drawn pretty well in the last few days. So it's about time to just get wrecked. It is always against Field of the Dead decks that I just get slaughtered. I draw the wrong half of the deck. So I think I have to kill their field here, unfortunately. But when you're going to have it, you're going to have it. Well, okay. Gives us a shot. Unfortunately, this is a 4-turn clock, so can't imagine going all the way, but good game. We'll let it go one more turn. See what I draw here, and then probably concede. Yep, just too late. All right. Disfigure's dead. Ambusher can maybe close out the game quickly. Legion's End. Why do I only have 2 in there? Seems kind of bad. Cast down trophy. What do I not want? Maybe just the counter spells. Spell Pierce draws dead very quickly, though. So I guess you could probably make the argument that Mystical Dispute is better. Ambushers in place of Pierce. I just kind of think this is a terrible, terrible matchup. Aether Gust is pretty solid. Take Aether Gust instead of Mystical Dispute. Yep. I don't have double green mana, so looks like we're going down to 5. I can't, like, what do you do when you have to mulligan to 4. Just nothing really, right? A tomb and a trophy. And they have a 3. Okay. Fun life. They will most definitely have their Disfigure. Nice. They do it. Alright, good game. Oh, that was fun. Da Kung Fu. It's actually the next day from when I was doing my previous games. Don't think it's good to be salty. I'm going to keep this. It's not a great hand. Obviously, I've got tapped lands, but I'm not going to go down to 5. And I've got a pirate for... Alright, so our black removal should be good here. Spell pierces are going to be maybe the worst. Well, that's great. There's nothing on 2 that they really have that's worth spell piercing, so... Preserver could race a Johnny's Pride Mate. Okay, so it's the original old style of White Weenie. Probably assuming that I'm playing Esper Control. That's great. So, I'm going to try to blow them out to paying 4 life, and then I'll Disfigure in response. Actually, might just eat that. Actually, no, I'm going to Preserver here. Eat their token. They might have effects, but I doubt it. Nope, okay. So, now I can hold up Lookout's Dispersal and use Disfigure, which is great. I'll block. And just give it -2/-2. Well, that was quick. So, Grasps are coming in. Ambusher. Legion's End. Mystical Dispute. Spell Pierce. And Negate. Okay. Send that back. So, while we wait, I understand why those first 2 matches in this video were absolute garbage. One of the things that allows Merfolk and counterspell aggressive decks like this to be good is when your opponents are jamming expensive board wipes, expensive spells. Control decks have, like Grixis even, tend to be decent matchups. Blue-white control is a good matchup because their main form of removal is a 4-mana sweeper. Which means if I counter that 4-mana sweeper, they're done for the turn. Both my round 1 opponents were playing Disfigure and Cast Down, and just wrecked me. So, just going back and thinking about it, Lookout's Dispersal is kind of bad here. So, getting Preserver down is going to be important. Jeez, that's a lot. I'm going to play this here. But yeah, so just thinking about it, these decks are bad against targeted removal. Okay, so they're missing on a land. No, there's their 3rd land. Sure. And I might just flash in a Preserver here to block the 1/2. I think I want to take the Lifelink or probably the Conquistador. And if he buffs that, that's okay. No. So they have more effects. Okay. Jeez. Well, they are just going to town with the 1-drops. Alright. So... if 8, 9... so I'll be able to opt here. And I'm going to block the Legion, the Knight of the Even Legion. And when they pump it, I will cast down in response. So... that seems... what? Why would you do that? I just blocked that for free then, yeah? Okay, well, that was a game that just happened. Oh, poor guy. Just messed up. You will forgive me for any chewing noises. I am eating some salad. I think this is a keep. It's not great, but actually, got a 2. Yeah. Trying to be a little bit, well, pretend at least a little bit that I'm healthy. Okay, well that's nice. So what I'll probably do is flash in Preserver here and eat the Knight. Or that. No, I'm just going to eat the Knight. So Preserver has been really good in a number of situations. Here's just a 2/2 blocker. Great. Oh. Well, that just happened. I'm so bad with lands. Kind of think I'm just going to bounce the Dreadhorde Butcher. So... could get value out of my Preserver, but I'd rather... so they've got removal. Sweet, okay. So, like I said, targeted removal is hard for these decks to deal with. That seems fine. I'm actually just going to attack. So, I can hold up a counterspell. I think taking 3 is fine. Yep. They're stuck on lands, which means they've probably got a lot of stuff in hand. I don't think I want that. I want to land that. And just gonna bounce. Even if they kill it, my Preserver, I'll be on the... I'll be where I want to be. Yep, that's fine. It did its duty. Alright, so unfortunately I take 2, down to 12, but... so we're just going to counter their Butcher here. Or that works too. And say nope. And now we've got a counterspell, removal, and threat. That's great. Okay. If they play a discard spell, I will negate it. But... and flash in Borrower. How much do I care about that now? Kind of think I want to end the game. I don't really care about it. Yeah, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to win this race, I think. Sure. Now I can fight over two things. Dreadroach Butcher's a cool card. I would love to see it become a bigger... Really? Okay. Now, if they have a sacrifice a creature, destroy a creature card, that would be kind of sweet. Sorry, mate, can't have two of them. Can't have two of them. Unfortunately, I did tap off 2 blue. Thankfully, I have 1 more from my Negate. But Butcher's going to be difficult in game 2 and 3. Alright. Spell Pierce is great. Stop it. Spell Pierce is my counter to targeted removal. So... sure. That doesn't stop my Borrower. Brazen Borrower is a great addition to this type of deck. Yes. That's a nice top deck. Not top deck, that's a nice play there. Get rid of it. So that's a good game then, I believe. They don't have any more basics? Okay. Got him. Alright, so Legion's End. Crap, when people have these sleeves, it messes up my flows. Ambusher's going to come in, I believe. Mystical Dispute, out. Negate, out. Spell Pierce is okay, but probably want to do something like that. They do have red cards. Actually, yeah, the red cards are relevant to fight over. I don't think I want counter spells. Make another Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is okay in certain situations, not a ton. Let's just do that. Yeah. So, again, this deck that I'm playing against had a lot of targeted removal, and it was good against me game 1. At a certain point, they were stuck on lands, but those 2 bolts and the Bone Crusher Giant. This could be a tough game 2. Having lands and removal counter is going to be great. So I am going to shock this in. And if they play Agonizing Remorse, I want them to not take that. So here it comes. Yep. Which is why... Okay, that's not terrible at all. I'm going to put this into play tapped. I don't want to take more damage. These 2 as top end are so powerful. Nice, nice, nice. They had 2 of them. Good, 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 good. So... they know what's coming. I think you want to take... well, I don't know. The removal spells are pretty good. Ambusher ends the game. Okay, get to keep Frilled Mystic. Poor guy. Well, this is kind of crappy. Do I miss on lands again? I went up to 24 lands. I've missed on lands several times. Okay. Just going to put this on top. Aether Gust is an interesting card. I guess it's technically removal. That's unfortunate. I haven't drawn a single removal spell. What I will do is Assassin's Trophy and then Legion's End the Egg. So when this dies, your upkeep. So Trophy. And the upkeep, all Legions End the Egg and flash in Preserver. So, geez, just can't catch a break here. How does this happen? You draw all your 4-drops and miss on lands. That's not a scary hand, though. Yeah, that's a good call. Land. Need to draw... Son of a gun! Well, sometimes you lose games because it wants you to lose. Nice. I think that's game. That's hilarious. I get stuck on lands and they... I might as well kill that. I guess it's technically not game over if I top deck 2 lands in a row. Could claw my way back into this. Let's get them to use their removal spells. Okay. So they don't know I have 2 wolves in hand. That's a big deal. That was my land. You gotta be... Alright, I'm not feeling this. Let's take him on the play. In a normal game where there was, lands and spells drawn, that would have been a solid game. Unfortunately, we didn't draw lands and spells. So Aether Gust is definitely a card I want to use here. So my goal here is to draw lands and spells together. Monte Cruz. My opponent's deck is really cool. Yep, that's lands and spells. No interaction, so I might lose one of these 2 because they'll probably have 2 Agonizing Remorse in the opener. But what can you do? I'll flash in Cutthroat. I said lands and spells, not just lands. Have to be... Sometimes they miss here. Here it comes. Kind of think I'm just gonna eat this. The fact that they have Bolt means that this isn't gonna do a lot of damage besides just being a removal spell. Okay, that's great. So well, that kind of worked out quite well. Okay, I've got green, green. Okay, blue, blue, green, green. Good stuff. Phoenix. Okay, well, I'm not going to cast that into obvious handful of removal spells. Do I just work through their removal spells? Okay, well, now I can fight over something. Spell Pierce is that kind of tool against spot removal. If they jam a Phoenix... yep. Counter it. Bone Crusher. Oh, yeah. Actually going to take 2 here, so I can bounce and wolf. Or I can borrower and wolf. We'll see. Actually, if they just cast Remorse, that's kind of rough. Okay, they're counting cards. 3 other cards. Interesting. Sure. Not bad. Just gonna bounce that to your hand. So, kind of think I'm just gonna play this now. I really don't want the Ambusher to die. Yeah, I'm really glad I didn't do that. Alright. I have effects. Sure. Guess I'll just eat that. Gonna play this bugger. And this bugger. And eat the robber. That may have been the wrong play. If they have Bolt in hand, I'd be very sad. They definitely do have removal. They don't. Okay, well. Flood City is where I live. So... make him a 6-2. And unfortunately, last game I was a renter. I didn't own any lands. In this game, I'm a wealthy landowner. Well, they've got something. I'm assuming they have a removal spell for... Okay, well, just kidding. Huh. So if I swing in, they block the wolf, and go down to 1. If I do that, wolf can survive, and I get a 2-2. I think I'm just going to do that. Okay, so they get their guy back. That's funny, now they can use their castle. I guess they can't really. Phoenix of Ash is good. I didn't realize there was only three cards to get it back. That's really good. I'm just gonna flash this in. They kind of flooded here this time, so they drew 9 lands, drew 7. Just gonna charge in here with everything. Just give them a good game. They played really well. That deck's really cool. Alright, managed to string a couple wins together at the end. Alright, so after going 2-2 in matches, it definitely didn't feel as overpowered as it did the first round. That being said, those last 2 games were able to do exactly what I want. Like I mentioned during the third match, decks that play a lot of spot removal are going to be really good against this. Actually, even that last match played just good spot removal. And I think a lot of decks have been getting away from spot removal control. Like Blue-White Control plays Elspeth Conquers Death, which costs 5. Teferi, sure. Maybe Oath of Kaya, and then board wipes. But they don't play a lot of just 1 and 2 cost removal spells, which are very good against this type of deck, because I can't protect them all the time. That being said, the core of the deck is very strong. I think these flash creatures, heck, even Preserver. I mean, this is probably the worst of the Wildborn Preserver decks, simply because Direfleet doesn't pump it. But I mean, just as a 2/2 flash reach is strong enough on its own, and then just being able to grow it in some of those longer games. But yeah, I got to figure out what to do against Field of the Dead, and I might take out these Agonizing Remorses and replace them either with Unmoored Ego. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that now, because I don't think Nexus is a problem so much. I've got a lot of counter spells. Ego is good against Nexus. What am I saying? So Ego is good against Field of the Deck and Nexus. So that's going to be my major change in this deck. But anyways, hope you enjoyed. Sultai Flash continues to be a fun deck. So thank you all very much. Bye for now.